Okay, not sure how this is going to work. This is my first attempt trying to shoot a machining video, but this is to kind of explain a little bit of how the fixture for the oil filter housing is supposed to work out. Try to keep this as stable as possible. But the base here serves two purposes. Once it's been welded and we've got either weld or swelling from the weld on the other side, this will have to be surfaced off first. Once it's surfaced off, then you can flip it over and use these pins down here in the corner to locate the good holes and also locate the one that's going to be drilled, and pick that hole up for drilling. Probably explain a little bit more on that as I go, but for right now we'll just kind of focus on surfacing this off. This might be a couple stages in this video. I don't know if I'm going to get it all in one shot or just come back and forth a couple of times. I've already taken some of the paint out of it and I've indicated it in. What we have is down in the center there is one bolt that kind of acts as the base for holding. Underneath of that, I don't know if I can get it, right down in the very bottom, separating the housing from the metal base is a rubber washer, kind of a grommet. Allows the housing to rock back and forth so that you can 4-point this in, and then up top on these, on the pushers or the the angle plates here, those just simply act like a 4-jaw chuck. Let me see if I can set this back down. So with that 4-jaw chuck type of affair, then you can take and push the housing back and forth to bring this in level here and bring this in level here. Due to the shape of the base, it's easier to do it this way than it is this way. It's quite a bit longer on the surface this direction. So anyway, like I said, I did part of that off camera already. It does dial in, and it's the best way to, that I've found to certainly identify where everything's at. So let's I'll try and get focused in on the indicator here. I don't know how well that's going to pick up, but ultimately, we're looking for 4 points. 2 points on the X and 2 points on the Y axis. So we're going to call that 0 right there, and then come all the way across to hopefully 0. Yep, 0 again, and come halfway back, and it should be 0 here. Yeah, looks like +1, as long as we're +1 or something close. This has been sitting a while. I honestly haven't dialed this in for a bit. We are +1/2, so we're within about a half on the x-axis and both zeros on the y, so that's good. But also from there you can kind of identify what the cut's going to look like. Right there around the center bore, we don't want to take any more material than absolutely possible, because that is the deck height for the screen filter that drops inside. We don't really have any extra material to play with there, so ultimately, if anything, I would like it to pick up on the corners, and I just leave a shadow right there at that center bore just to take an absolute minimum. What I have done is I measured this thickness here and here. Both of these have been, they're pretty warped from the welding. This is 214, 216. The other example I have over there, it's like 213 all the way up to 226 or 225. So ultimately, I'd like to see everything stay, pretty close in the 200 range, keeping it, minimum pull on the material. But, you can go around and see what the outside looks like. See, because that's dropping off there. That's a -2. Come over here, and there's a +3. So that would clean. What we're going to see is a shadow on the outside edge. And then here, There's a +2. This should be, I don't know what this is going to look like, +2. So not too bad. +1. We'll see a little bit of shadowing, but all in all, I think it's going to clean up all right. Got to start somewhere. It doesn't work as it sits right now. And 0, obviously that's going to be way high. Yeah, we've got 30, 40, 50. You know, we've got almost a 1/16 of an inch to pull off there. I'm going to go at it pretty slow, like with a 1/4 inch end mill or something. I don't, you know, first time using this fixture, it's pretty rigid. I mean, that needle doesn't move at all when I try and move it around there. So it should be stable, but no point in finding out the hard way that it's not. So anyway, let's with that, I guess let's pull it out and continue on. Go in with an end mill. Let's see. There. Now it won't drop as far, I guess. That wasn't bad. We'll look at a 1/2 inch, see how that does. See what I got for end mills here. It's a roughing end mill, but it don't matter. I'm just using the face of it anyway. Bit of a ways up here. So I should get a picture of those numbers. Alright, sneak in on it. Okay, I'm going to call that 0, for obvious reasons here. Let's cruise around and look for our high spots. See what this side looks like. There's a little bit. Okay. For right now, I'm just going to do like 10 at a time. I guess when we're all said and done, it does have a gasket under it, but a person could lap it just to get rid of any scratches. Once I know it's holding, honestly, I guess I could also fly cut the whole thing, which is typically what I would do. Take another 10 here. Alright, it's holding up quite well. I knew it would. I mean, this is pretty easy here. Another 10. So there's 30 in total. Start finding our bottom here pretty quick. Another 10. Okay. That's a total of 40. Holding pretty good there. Let's see. I should have put a couple marks to record exactly where my highs were on my parent material. All right there. I might go 5 now. I know we've got 50 to go. Sneak up on it. Like I said, we're looking for a minimum here. There we are. There's that other, you can see that weld right there on that edge. That's not as good as I was hoping, but kind of is what it is. Nothing there. Okay, well, you can see the shadows there. Might stick an indicator up there and just see how that sweeps. Then go around with a light pass. Gonna work. It's not ideal, but work for what I'm needing at the moment. Yeah, that ain't straight at all. It's all right. I'm just looking for movement here. That's 0, so going into our shadow. Oh yeah, that's very close. I'm only talking another 2 thou to clean that up. I might just take 1 and see how it does. Okay. Alright, let's see what happens here. Oh yeah, very, very light. Good. Yeah, I think this will be our final pass right here. Leave that as our shadow witness. Perfect. Okay. Very nice. Yeah, probably tram my head in. Feel a little bit of overlap on it, but less than a half thou anyway. Okay, well, let's drop that filter in. Got a bolt in the end, in the bottom, so that ain't gonna go in right now. But doesn't look bad. Measure our corners now. We're 14 and 16. It's 208. 210. So basically, about 6 thou, 5, 6 thou, right in there. Alright, well, I think I'll shut this off for right now, change my setup, and we'll come back in when we're ready to clean those holes up on the other side. Okay, step 2 here. I was hoping that I could leave those push blocks on just to eliminate a step, but that wasn't the case. So once we have all this decked, then we need to flip it over and reclaim these holes and spot face those. So these pins here are there so that we can quickly pick up and locate those locations. Pin's not going to go through this one here, and it's not going to go through that one there. So we can pull those out, and it will locate on those. And then with the tie down, that'll hold it down firm to the block there. Oops, I got a chip on there. Okay. So there we go. So before we can do that, though, we need to pick up on that hole. I've actually already worked part of this through, but what I do is, with this block loose, I just simply come down with the quill Honestly, this could be done on a drill press probably just as easy as a milling machine. This step of it anyway, which was the purpose behind this fixture. Okay, so once we're over top of that hole, then it's just a matter of tightening it down. And ta-da! We're over top of that hole. Pull my pin out, then we can go right to our tooling. This will drop down. Again, we've got base material there, parent material, that we're gonna try and just leave a shadow witness. And this fixture, it's sitting on 1, 2, 3 blocks, not for any reason whatsoever other than they were already there and my hold downs were already to the height. I just didn't change my setup much. I just went with what was there. And the center hole, I went with a 1/2 inch. Pretty standard tooling on a set of hold downs is always going to be 1/2 inch. So once you got a milling machine, you're almost always going to have 1/2 inch hold downs and stuff around. So from there, just give her a little snug. Okay. What I don't know at this point, let me find my other. So I've made a drill bit for spot facing this, or ground off for spot facing. We're gonna see how this works. If all goes well, you know what? I might even skip the drill chuck and just go to a collet. Just get that as stable as I can. I think that's what I'm gonna do here. Hit the camera. Yeah, we're still in there. Okay, let's see. Drop that. Now we can choke up on this. Oh, did I grab the wrong collet? I sure did. There we go. Well, hopefully, let's see, I might have to go back to that drill chuck. Dang it, I do. Okay, well, it's worth a shot. Not the end of the world. That drill chuck does run nice. Just wanted to stay short and stable there. Alright. Well, having not tried this, man, that's not a perfect setup by no means. Not at all. But we'll see what happens. Slow and easy, just spot that off. You can see right there, well, maybe not, but anyway, right there we've left just the slightest wetness. Not very elaborate, but it works. Set up on the homemade little tool post grinder and kiss those off flat. Worked out good. Hopefully I can get down through there with this 1/4 inch drill. I'll be styling. Let's see, it's gonna be a reach. Oh, no problem. Okay. Okay. See how much garbage I can get on my camera here. So, I believe that was 1/4 inch. I guess I should check. Yep, that's 1/4. So from there, just repeat that step. Take that loose. Actually, I gotta take that off. Guess it'd probably be easier if a person had a few of these to do, which I do. I'm just doing this for video purposes. To leave the little push blocks mounted, deck them all first, and then come back and redress all the holes. Okay. Oh, there they are right there. Should be pretty dang close. Oh, I need to oversize that. I do. I need to oversize that hole. Yep. All right. Well, I guess I should identify what size that hole is. It's not 1/4 inch. Alright, well, we're still locked down there. And oh, 49. Not sure. That's actually a little confusing. Oh, wrong bit. Okay. Getting off by much. Honestly, I probably don't even need to tie that down for this. There we go. Might have made my tolerance a little too tight on these pins. Now, there we go. Ooh, it is a tight tolerance. Sweet. Okay, well that's what we're after right there. Perfect. So from there, repeat on the other side, which is grab a hold of our pin, like so. Move that. Probably do it without taking it loose here, but it's easy to line up this way. Come up with the table. There we we go. Let's see. There. Lock that for a second. Okay. Dang. Hit the camera again. Okay. We're directly over top that hole. For this, I will lock it down because we got to spot face that again. And we don't want to run the risk of messing anything up that way. Pulling a little more material than just going in with basically a 1/4 inch bit. Okay. Good and good. All right. Yeah, drop table. There we go. Okay, so clearance is good. Okay, nothing to it. That one's pushing a little. All right. Well, might have to kill the camera and go build another tool. No, she'll make it there. Yeah, it wasn't bad. Little deflection. Pretty minor. Yeah. Well, there you have it. A couple spot faces. Should be a clean hole. Got some trash in there. This may not go down. It did a little bit. So it's going to be close, I can tell you that. That last hole was, oh yeah. Oop. That is a tight, tight, tight tolerance. Okay, well, I think I can worry that hole out a little bit and it'll work out fine. There it goes. Oh boy, that is a snug one. But, okay, well, that's it. I'm gonna feather that hole a little bit, maybe with a small round file. And just hang it up on a burr there. And that's the gist of the fixture. Okay, there you go.